Hello and welcome to another WhichEV upload. This time it's a very cold and windy day, but we're about to get funky. This is the Great Wall Motor Ora Funky Cat. Yes, you heard that correctly. This is a car called a Funky Cat. What's it all about? Stay with us and you'll soon find out. And if you want to find out more about this car, read the written review below. Don't forget though to like, comment and subscribe. You first notice the resemblance to a Porsche at the front. Yes, Ora looks like it's taken inspiration from the 911 with its bug-eyed headlights. This creates two bulges at either side of the bonnet, which also features a couple of smaller bumps towards the centre. The rest of the front end is uncluttered with a compact lower grille that has silver bordered air intakes at either end. Around the sides there isn't much to see, although a nice crease in the lower part of the doors and a modest roof spoiler give the hatchback some personality. The tail lights are mainly built into the black frame at the bottom of the rear window. Meanwhile, the lower portion of the Cat's posterior sticks out, resulting in an unusual shape with smaller lights on either side of the number plate and a clean, minimalist design. The electric car is cutesy and looks like it would give you a big hug, yet it's stylish and a far cry from some ugly vehicles produced in China over the years. There's just one edition of the Ora Funky Cat at the moment, and funnily enough it's called the first edition. It includes a 10.25-inch infotainment screen with sat-nav, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a 10.25-inch digital instrument display. The car also boasts keyless entry and start, LED headlights, leatherette seats, adaptive cruise control, 360-degree cameras, a wireless phone charger, electric front seats and rear parking sensors. You also get face recognition that is bloody irritating. The interior looks inviting, classy and comes with a premium feel. Indeed, the cabin was designed in Germany, so its success may come as little surprise. It has a clean appearance with a dual shaded colour scheme of grey-blue covering the top half of the interior and a creamy beige on the bottom half. Even the steering wheel gets in on a double-hued act. As small cars go, this has got quite a bit of space in the front and it's noticeably wider than a lot of compact cars, so you won't be bumping elbows with your passenger here. So just in case you weren't aware that it's the first edition you're sitting in, first edition is very well marked for you there. You have two USB ports, an old-fashioned socket / cigarette lighter area there. You've got two very useful cup holders and you have a wireless phone charger tray there. And then up here you've got the handbrake and gear selector, another wireless phone charging area there, and this useful cubby that's deep enough to take a water bottle and any other gubbins you may want to take with you. So very practical really when you consider the Funky Cat is a small EV. The Ora Funky Cat has got a okay sized glove box, enough to keep the owner's manual and a few other bits of information in there. You have electric adjustment in the driver's seat and the passenger seat. There is a surprising amount of room in the back of this Ora, certainly enough for two adults. The headroom isn't too bad, loads of knee room. Look at that, that's exactly where I was sitting, so there's enough room for another 6-footer behind a 6-foot tall driver. Same for the passenger. You could just about get a third person here if you really wanted to. Yeah, very impressive, and you've got some chunky headrests behind you, and it's all very comfortable too. You've even got an armrest here where you've got two cup holders, very useful. You've got a useful single USB port, but no air conditioning for the passengers. You've got these handy magazine pockets so that your kids can put in the magazine of their choice. For instance, The Funky Life and Times of James Brown or whatever it may be. The Funky Cat has a decent sized boot, 228 litres with the rear seats up. That's enough to get your charging cables in there and a couple of small bits of shopping. But it does expand to 858 litres if you put these rear seats down and take this tiny parcel shelf out, of course. However, there's a very pronounced lip and there's not a flat load floor either. The Funky Cat's got a 48 kilowatt hour battery, which results in a rather meagre 193 mile range. The DC charging is also quite low at only 64 kilowatts. That means it takes 45 minutes to go from 10 to 80%. And a home wall box will take 7 hours to fully charge this car. The Funky Cat's got quite a large, funky looking steering wheel. You have all the usual things you'd expect on a car, from the indicator stalks there, you've got automatic headlamps at the end, you've got cruise control down here, you've got your windscreen wipers there, and that's pretty much it. Although you do have controls on the steering wheel. I find those a little bit too much, but you can operate all sorts of things such as the screen here, and there we are, all sorts, volume control as well. You also have these mini-esque controls, and I quite like these. You don't get them all buried inside the touchscreen here, so you can actually switch the car on or off. You've got the AC, got the hazard warning lights, you have windscreen here, quick clear, and the demister heated rear windscreen there. And apart from the accelerator pedal, this is how you get the Funky Cat going. It's in park right now, big obvious red P, and you can then move it with your foot on the brake into drive, into neutral, or into reverse, and it all glows so you know which gear you're in. And then you've got this parking brake and the automatic hold here too. Here you have the information you need, all the key information from speed to range, to seeing how many people in the car don't have their seatbelts on, whether you have your parking brake applied, and the time, which gear you're in, and also the mode you're in. So at the moment we're in Eco Plus. That's to obviously get as much range as possible, but you've got also Eco, Normal and Sport. We won't bore you too much with this infotainment screen, because what you see pretty much is what you get. So you've got the home button there, sat nav is working, you can see we've got the radio set to the BBC World Service. You can press this button here, which brings up all these icons, from power assistant, which does what it says. You can see the percentage of power left in the car and the range, and then you've got the temperature here, as well as down with the retro buttons, and quite frankly you've got power flow, charging management, driving tips if you do need to know how to drive your EV more efficiently, and you can also set your energy recovery level from light to normal to strong, and you can turn your AC Eco Plus on, you can go to single pedal mode, all that kind of stuff here, and you can even take your electronic stability control off or put it on depending on how you want it. And if you want your steering to weight up, you can change it here. I've got it set to comfort, but you can put it on light, or you can put it on sport too. You've got your fan here, and then you go back to car, and then you can go back to all of these other controls. Your accounts shows you all you need to know about yourself, but you have to log in. I'm not going to show you that. And then you've got the vehicle settings. This screen isn't that, sometimes it's responsive, sometimes it's not, but you can see pretty much what we're talking about here, and there's a mobile service there. You can obviously use the screen instead of your phone to be legal. That pretty much sums up that screen. It's not too bad. You can set it to light or to dark, or you can put it on auto mode. So hopefully the screen, like most screens, will adjust to whether you're in the daylight or at night time. This car's got 171 PS, which translates to 0 to 62 miles an hour in 8.3 seconds, which actually isn't that fast as EVs go. It's front wheel drive, which means you immediately get wheel spin, especially on a damp day, as soon as you floor the throttle. The Funky Cat's not lightning quick, but it's more than adequate for a small family EV. In terms of handling, it's not incredibly athletic, but it's perfectly acceptable and quite pleasant really, as far as small family cars go. The steering is pretty responsive and precise, and you can adjust the weighting of the steering through the infotainment screen. The Cat goes around corners without much body lean, and it feels stable and generally well planted. There is quite a bit of wind noise at higher speeds though. One pedal driving is possible, and you can switch that on or off through the screen here, but you do need to apply the brake to come to a full stop. Overall though, the Cat is short on thrills, especially when compared with the Mini Electric. The list of safety features is seemingly endless. The Cat gets auto emergency braking with pedestrian and cycling detection. There's blind spot detection with automatic cruise control and traffic jam assist. You get lane keep assist, and there's a lane centering function. As we've already pointed out, there's a 360-degree reversing camera. The Cat's got a camera here that looks at you. It basically ensures you've got your eyes on the road at all times. It's all very Big Brother, this camera. It looks at you all the time, and if your eyes wander away from looking straight out the windscreen, it tells you to keep your eyes on the road, which in some ways is good, but I've found it really irritating. It's even told me that I should smoke in moderation and not while I'm driving. Well, I don't smoke, so all I can imagine is that I was yawning or looking sort of too up, and I don't know what I was doing. But anyway, apparently the car thought I was smoking. It's a little bit too much. Mind you, some people might find it useful. This car costs a little under £32,000, which sounds expensive, but actually that's quite reasonable for an electric vehicle. However, MG will sell you a vehicle with more range for the same price or less. However, the warranty is not bad, so it'll give you peace of mind. 5 years, unlimited mileage. And the battery has a standard 8-year or 100,000 mile warranty. Well, the inevitable conclusion, we've come to it, and I don't know what to say. I do like the car, but I'm hesitant to tell you that I like the car. It's quite good looking, it's different, but the range really lets it down. I know I could go to another manufacturer and spend the same or slightly less to get more range, so that's kind of what puts me off this. But I do see the attraction of this. But I will leave you with this little note. My son, when he first saw this, said, "Dad, there's no way you're dropping me off at school in that." So if you like to stand out and you can handle the name, then the Funky Cat could be the EV for you. It's got personality by the bucket load, and it gives the Honda E and the Mini Electric a run for their money. So the Funky Cat is a bit of an oddball, and it's not as fun to drive as it looks. Therefore, I expect this to achieve only moderate success when it comes to sales in the UK/European market. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel.